Hey guys, what's up? This is MooneyB123 coming today. I want to do a comparison video today of two prepaid services. I want to compare PagePlus Cellular and Verizon's own prepaid service. Now, PagePlus is a Verizon MVNO. That means Mobile Virtual Network Operator, and PagePlus operates off of Verizon's network. So when you speak on PagePlus Cellular, you're actually using Verizon's network. So really, PagePlus Cellular and Verizon's own prepaid, you really are getting the exact same service. You're using the same towers, you're getting the same coverage. The only difference is in the details of the different costs between the two companies and some other things that I want to talk about. So I want to go through here and just kind of give some benefits of both of these and just kind of give you just a little bit of differences between these two and about the differences between what they offer. Okay, so let's talk about PagePlus. As I said, PagePlus uses the Verizon network, and recently, I'm making this video October 7th, 2014. Recently, PagePlus has introduced 4G LTE. So you can use Verizon's 4G LTE network when you're on PagePlus. You have to have a 4G enabled phone, and you have to order one of their SIM cards, but you can use 4G LTE on PagePlus now. Verizon, their prepaid service has had 4G LTE for several months now. I don't remember exactly how long, but it's been 3 or 4 or 5 months, something like that. So on both of them, you can have 4G LTE. So again, we're still really comparing apples to apples here. Everything's kind of still looking the same. So let's talk about some benefits of PagePlus first. So PagePlus offers different plans for you to be able to purchase, and that's one of the benefits to PagePlus, is that you can get a cheaper plan and still get 4G LTE service. As you can see right here, the featured plan from PagePlus, this plan's been on PagePlus for a long time, but it's a $29.95 plan, $30. You get 1,200 minutes, 3,000 texts, and 5 megabytes of data. So if you're the type of person who really doesn't use your phone a lot, but you still want a smartphone and you still want it to be, you still want fast data when you need it, but you don't talk much and you really want it as cheap as possible, then PagePlus is going to be a good option, because you can get a $30 plan using any Verizon smartphone. Whereas Verizon's prepaid service, the cheapest that you can get with a 4G smartphone is a $45 plan. You can use some of their dumb phones, is what some people say. You can use some of their Verizon's dumb phones on Verizon Prepaid for cheaper. But if you want a smartphone on Verizon's Prepaid, $45 is the cheapest. So that's one benefit to PagePlus, is that you can get a cheaper plan if that's something that you want. So another benefit to me of PagePlus is customer service. When you call into PagePlus, you're calling in and you're talking to people in Ohio. So when you call in, you can actually understand what they're saying, and they can understand what you're saying. We all understand the problem that is sometimes you call into customer service and you talk to people who don't natively speak English, and all the finer points of what you're trying to tell them is completely lost. That they have no idea what you're trying to communicate. Sometimes you have to get real detailed, and those details are just lost on people who are non-native English speakers. So to me, that's a benefit to PagePlus. When I call in, I'm talking to people in Ohio. I've never had a problem understanding anybody there. Now, Verizon may not have a big problem with that. It's been a long time since I've called and talked to anybody at Verizon. I used to be on contract with Verizon, but that's been years and years ago. I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. So I don't know what their customer service is like. But PagePlus is pretty good. Their PagePlus's customer service several years ago was not great, but it has improved. And another thing that I've noticed, that I've experienced, is that usually with the bigger cell phone companies like AT&T and Verizon, if you go in and you talk to those people, you go and you talk to an AT&T customer rep, and as soon as they find out that you're one of their prepaid customers, most of the time, as soon as they find that out, they're ready to be done with you. They have bigger fish to fry. They don't want to mess with that. They don't want to mess with you because they don't feel like they're making much money on you. Now I know there's going to be people on Verizon Prepaid who are good people who treat everybody the same, but what I just described does happen. And so anyways, PagePlus, that is their business model, is prepaid. So when you call and you talk to them, they're not going to treat you like you're lesser of a person. That's their business. That's who they deal with, is prepaid customers. So to me, that's another benefit of PagePlus. Okay, so let's talk about some of the benefits now of Verizon's own prepaid service. And as I've kind of researched this and look at this, I'm really kind of leaning towards using Verizon's prepaid if I decide to go that direction. I currently use an AT&T prepaid service, but where I live, really, there's very good AT&T and Verizon service. So if I ever decide to make the switch, I might try out Verizon's prepaid service because of some of these benefits I'm about to talk about. Okay, so when you get on Verizon Prepaid, basically and they call it their all set plan. You're going to spend $45 a month. That is unlimited talk and text and 500 megabytes of data. One good thing about this, though, is that if you set up yourself as auto pay on Verizon on this all set plan, if you set up auto pay, they bump this to 1 gigabyte. So you get 500 megabytes free per month if you set up yourself on the auto pay plan. Okay, and then here's really what I think is a benefit to Verizon's prepaid is what they call their bridge data. Okay, so their bridge data is just to get you a bridge from where you're at in the month to the end if you run out of data. And here's the charges on that. $5 will give you an extra 500 megabytes. That'll last for 30 days. And I believe that's 30 days from the time you buy it. So a lot of times on these deals, on these prepaid services, if you buy data, it expires at the time that your service renews, at the time that your month is over. I think this is 30 days from the time that you buy it. So that's pretty neat. But really, this down here is what really draws me. For $10, you can get an extra gigabyte, but that lasts for 90 days. So let's say you set up yourself on the $45 a month auto pay, you get a gigabyte. The moment that your month renews, you start drawing from that gigabyte. Okay, and so let's say in that month you end up using a gigabyte and a half. Okay, so you use up that gigabyte from just the monthly plan, and then you're going to eat up just half a gigabyte of this 3 gigabytes. So that leaves 2.5 gigabytes that don't just disappear into nowhere once your service renews at the month. It actually goes out for 90 days, so you actually get 3 months to use up that much data. So that's pretty neat, because some months you may need that 3 gigabytes in that 1 month. Or you may go a stretch where that 3 gigabytes will last you for 3 full months. So to me, that's pretty neat that it can stretch out for 90 days, and maybe I need that 3 gigabytes this month. Maybe I can just spread that over the next 3 months, and it'll save me even more money doing it that way. So this is definitely a benefit, because you can add this bridge data anywhere throughout the month. If you want to add it at the very beginning of your month, you can. If you want to add it at the 28th day of your month, then you can. And you can add as many of these as you want. There's no limit to how many of these bridge data packages that you add to your plan. Okay, that's in contrast to PagePlus, where they do not offer bridge data, or like a lot of people say, data buckets, where you just buy this bucket of data to be able to add it on. PagePlus at this point does not offer that. The only way you can get more data is just by buying bigger plans. Okay, so let's go back over here and let's look at some of these plans from PagePlus. So I talked about this $29.95 plan that they call it their talk and text 1200 minutes, 3,000 texts, and 500 megabytes of data. A $39.95 plan gives you 1 gigabyte of data, unlimited talk and text. The 55, they call it the 55, gives you unlimited talk and text, 3 gigabytes of data. And you can also get this $69.95 plan, which is 5 gigabytes of data, unlimited talk and text also. So PagePlus does not offer a data bucket like what Verizon Prepaid does. If you want more data, you just have to buy that larger plan. And if you run out of data, let's say you choose the $29.95 plan, and let's say you go and you use up that 500 megabytes. Let's say you weren't paying attention and you end up using all 500 megabytes in 2 days. You're done with data for the month, unless you go back and just apply a whole other plan. So you can definitely see the problem with that. Whereas with Verizon, if I had the gigabyte here on the auto pay, I used up that gigabyte in 2 or 3 days and I realized, whoops, I don't have to go and buy a whole other $45 plan. I can just go and buy a $10 data bucket, this bridge data, and be able to have an extra gigabyte. And I can add as many of those as I want to. So to me, that's definitely a huge benefit, and especially the benefit of these lasting 90 days. Whether you buy the 1 gigabyte or the 3 gigabytes, you can spread those out over 3 months. And to me, that's really a big point there. Okay, so really that's kind of the main differences. I guess there's a whole lot of other stuff that I could say about this, but that's kind of it in a nutshell. You can get 4G LTE data on PagePlus now. You can get that on Verizon's Prepaid. So you're gonna really have the same service. You're gonna have the same speed. You're gonna have the same coverage. Now, roaming on PagePlus costs 20 cents per minute. So that would mean that you would, if you bought this plan, you would also have to buy one of their standard plans, like one of these, and put a $25 card or any one of these, put that card on top of your plan, and then your roaming would have to eat from this standard plan, which like on the $29.95, it shows all the different things here. But if you are roaming on voice, it's 20 cents a minute. So there's that. I looked and I couldn't really find anything conclusive about roaming on Verizon's Prepaid. I saw several forums and different things where people said they were able to roam for free. Some people saying there was no roaming at all. Some people saying that, and I didn't find it, but I saw several people saying in the fine details, in the fine print, it says somewhere in one of these deals on Verizon's Prepaid that they charge 20 cents per roaming minute also. But anyways, I don't know. I've seen it 3 different ways on that, so I really can't say because I haven't used it myself anyways. So that's the difference between PagePlus and Verizon. I've used PagePlus before. They're a good company. I really liked them. I used them for a long time. But if I do end up making this switch back to Verizon, I think I'm going to try out the Verizon's own prepaid first and just check that out. But of course, that's the good thing about prepaid. If I get on Verizon Prepaid and realize there's some little hitch there that I wasn't expecting and that I don't like, I go finish out that month with them, and then I jump over to PagePlus. No ETF, no problems. Don't have anybody trying to convince me that I need to stay with them. I can just switch over, and no fuss, no muss on that. So those are the basic differences there. You can use any Verizon 4G handset on either one of these. PagePlus, you can use the iPhone 5S. You can use a Verizon Galaxy Note 3. You can use any Verizon Windows phone. Same thing on Verizon's prepaid service. Any of their newest Verizon 4G LTE handsets, you can use that on their service as well. So I think that's going to about cover what I wanted to hit on that today. Hopefully this will help you if you're trying to decide between these two, to kind of give you an idea of what may fit best for your particular situation. Thanks for watching today.